Hello and welcome to a brief introduction on the inverse sine function using right triangles. As a recap, the sine function on a right triangle relates an angle to the ratio of sides and is defined as the sine of theta is equal to the opposite divided by the hypotenuse, which in our triangle here on the right has sides labeled A, B, and C, where C is the hypotenuse, A is the adjacent side, and B is the opposite side. And the sine of the angle theta is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse, or B over C with our labels. The output of the sine function is the ratio of the opposite leg to the hypotenuse when the angle between the adjacent side and the hypotenuse are known. So in this case, we know our angle. We know our angle theta, and that is when we take the sine of it. That gives us our ratio of opposite leg over hypotenuse. Now we're going to reverse this. Suppose we know the ratio of the opposite leg to the hypotenuse of a right triangle, and we wish to know the angle. Well, this is what the inverse sine function does. And the inverse sine function is often called the arcsine function, and you can denote it with sine of a -1 superscript of x, or you can denote it as arcsine of x. And this slideshow is going to adopt the arcsine notation in order to avoid confusion with the inverse function notation. Remember, when a -1 superscript is attached to a function name, it means inverse. When it is outside of the function's nomenclature, then it means reciprocal. So to avoid that, we're simply going to use the arcsine notation for the inverse sine function. So the arcsine function on a right triangle outputs an angle, inputs the ratio of the opposite leg to the hypotenuse leg. So it outputs an acute angle needed to match that ratio when you take the sine. So here is our basic triangle. On the right here, we have our angle theta in our corner. The side opposite is labeled B, the side adjacent is labeled A, and the hypotenuse is labeled C. Remember, the hypotenuse is always opposite the 90-degree angle. So for our first example, we're going to determine the angle needed if the opposite side and the hypotenuse are in a ratio of 1/2. Report the angle in both degrees and radians. So for this example, in our triangle, we're going to take the opposite side to be 1 and the hypotenuse to be 2. So for our diagram, we have theta in the lower left corner. The side opposite will have a length of 1, and the hypotenuse will have a length of 2. So what we have is the sine of theta is equal to 1/2. So our question is, the sine of what acute angle gives me 1/2? Another way to write this would be that theta is equal to the arcsine of 1/2, which can be translated as what acute angle results when I take the arcsine of 1/2. Both of these questions are asking the same thing. And if you use the unit circle, or if you use your technology, the answer will come out as pi over 6 radians, or 30 degrees. For our second example, we're going to determine the angle needed if the opposite side and the hypotenuse are in a ratio of 3/4. And again, we'll report the angle in both degrees and radians. So for this example, our opposite side has a measure of 3, and our hypotenuse has a measure of 4. So when it comes to our diagram, or when it comes to our equation, we have the sine of theta is equal to 3/4. And again, the question is, the sine of what acute angle gives me 3/4? If we write this in the arcsine format, it'll be theta is equal to arcsine of 3/4. And again, the question will ask what acute angle results when I take the arcsine of 3/4. And again, both these questions are asking the same thing. Our answer is going to be approximately 0.8481 radians, or 48.59 degrees. Again, using technology for this. Make sure that you are in the correct mode. So before you do any trig calculations, make sure that the mode, whether it's in degree mode or radian mode, has been checked and verified for the problem before you start any calculations. With the arcsine function now available to us, we now have tools to find the acute angles where the sine is going to be used. For a third example, determine the angle needed if the opposite side and the hypotenuse are in a ratio of square root 5 over 9. Report the angle in both degrees and radians. So again, we do the same thing. The opposite side will be square root of 5, the hypotenuse will be 9, and we form the equation sine of theta is equal to root 5 over 9. And again, this is asking us the question, the sine of what acute angle gives me the square root of 5 divided by 9? We can write this in the arcsine format, where we have theta is equal to the arcsine of the square root of 5 over 9. And again, the question is, what acute angle results when I take the arcsine of the square root of 5 divided by 9? Both of these questions are asking the same thing, and the answer is approximately 0.2511 radians, or 14.39 degrees. And again, we have the tools now to find the acute angle when a sine is being used. Here we have a slightly more general right triangle. The right triangle shown here shows us how the inverse sine matches up in our regular right triangle, how the sides are oriented with this particular inverse trig function. And this becomes really useful when the inverse sine acts as an argument inside other trigonometric functions. So on this right triangle where we have the inverse sine of x, or the arcsine of x, remember that this tells us the ratio of opposite over hypotenuse. So with just an input x, the opposite side of that arcsine is going to be x. The hypotenuse will be 1. And then we have Pythagorean's theorem that helps us determine the length of the adjacent side, which happens to be the square root of the quantity 1 minus x squared. So for our fourth example, let's determine the value of the tangent of the arcsine of x. Now recall, the arcsine of x represents an angle measurement. Therefore, we use the right triangle above, and we'll compute the tangent. Now remember, the definition of tangent of an angle is opposite over adjacent. So on our triangle up here in the right corner, the opposite side is x, the adjacent side is square root of 1 minus x squared, and we simply put those into our ratio, x divided by the square root of 1 minus x squared. And again, don't forget, Pythagorean's theorem is going to help you find those lengths of any missing sides on these right triangles. For one more example, let's determine the value of the secant of the arcsine of x. Again, remember, the arcsine represents an angle measurement. Therefore, we can use the right triangle above and compute the secant. Using our definition from secant, we know that the definition of secant of any angle is the ratio of the hypotenuse to the adjacent side. Well, our hypotenuse is 1. Our adjacent side is square root of 1 minus x squared. And we plug those into our ratio, and we have 1 divided by the square root of 1 minus x squared. And again, notice Pythagorean's theorem can help us obtain the length of any missing side. So this is how you can use the arcsine function when you have right triangles. You can use them as angle measurements inside other trig functions, or you can use them to determine the angle measurement when you know the ratio of opposite over hypotenuse. This will be continued on the unit circle. Thank you for your time and attention.